Okay, here we go. Hello and welcome, everyone. This is another week. We have another edition of Women Speakers Association's WSATV. I'm Laura Rubenstein, your host and producer. Today we have a fabulous show. It's all about how to eliminate the glass ceiling. It's probably not what you're thinking. I have an expert here with us. Before we get into that, I just want to let you know I normally do lots of hosting. I'm the author of the book Social Media Myths Busted, The Small Business Guide to Online Revenue. And I want to jump into our show today here with Paula Kramer. Hi, Paula.
Hi, Laura. I'm Paula Kramer. My website is speakingfromtriumph.com. I'm in Nelsonville, Wisconsin. I am a relationship transformation speaker and trainer. And
Awesome.
I'm happy to be here.
I am so happy you're here. We have a really powerful topic today. It's about,
You do.
eliminating this glass ceiling, the notion of the glass ceiling. A lot of women have struggled with feeling like there's a glass ceiling. I was wondering, what advice do you have for women and for us to support the disappearance of the glass ceiling?
Women should speak what they want to hear. When you speak when you talk, your words go into anybody's ears who's nearby, including men's ears. Whatever words you put into men's ears will come out of men's mouths. I have an example from my own life of a woman, a friend of mine, who astonished a room full of people by saying something she would never not want to hear herself. We were discussing a position at a state university that had just been filled. Positions at state universities have salaries that go with the position, not with the person who is in the position. A man had been in this position. The salary for the position was $60,000. A woman got hired for the position. A friend of mine in this group, a professional woman herself, who was probably in her 40s at the time, so she had experience in the world, considered herself a feminist, she said to the group in a vehement voice, she does not deserve $60,000 a year. Men were in this group. What message did this woman give to men? That women do not deserve the same pay as men. This woman was very upset about this hire, and I know she repeated this statement several times, undoubtedly for other men to hear. I don't know how many men's ears this message went into, but they went into men's ears. All those men heard the message. Women do not deserve the same pay as men. That woman set a glass ceiling for herself. She would never want to hear those words herself. She expected equal pay for her own work.
Wow. We do. So what I'm hearing is we as a general but we've also bought into this glass ceiling on some levels,
Bought
and
into it, yes.
we're speaking it out into the world. We're keeping it there.
Keeping it there.
So
We're holding it up. We're reinforcing it.
how do we stop this?
You speak what you want to hear. You talk about other women in your profession in particular, but also women in general, the way you want other people to talk about you. The surprising statistic I heard recently is that it takes only 10% of a population committed to an opinion to change that opinion in the rest of society. If
Wow.
10% of women in a profession speak what they want to hear, they will influence men to speak those words that they hear from these women, these 10%, and the glass ceilings will start to come down because men will break them.
So let's talk about this power of influence that we have as women, as people, and
Right.
how we can use our words in powerful ways, ultimately for good, but I think we use them in not so good ways.
Yeah,
What do you call that?
I call it gossip power. Gossip, according to dozens, probably hundreds of studies I've read on gossip, is talk about people, both other people and ourselves. There was a pair of research who said gossip is talk about ourselves. Gossip is talk about other people and ourselves in family, social, workplace, and public settings. It's just talk about people. It can be good, bad, or ugly. Good gossip opens doors in relationships. Bad gossip closes doors in relationships. And ugly gossip slams doors in relationships. The power of gossip is in the relationships it creates. And if you focus on speaking what you want to hear wherever you go, you will be creating good gossip power that leads to open door connections for you. And you can actually open slam doors if you're sincere and if the other person is open minded. You need those two ingredients, your sincerity and the other person's open mindedness. And I actually changed the slam door into an open door once for myself. I worked at a company that created a lot of stress for its employees. One of the supervisors took out her stress on the people the people who worked under her. I wrote a letter saying what was wrong with this approach to human resources, and another person wrote a letter. So it was obvious to more than one employee that this woman was doing things wrong. Human resources agreed with us. The supervisor was not happy, of course, so she slammed her door to me. By that time, I had learned about DISC behavior styles. I'm going to bring in Wonder Woman here because the DISC theory of behavior styles was created by the man who created Wonder Woman.
No.
Yes.
That's great.
William Moulton Marston created Wonder Woman to break stereotypes about women. He also created the DISC behavior theory, D-I-S-C, behavior theory of the theory of behavior style based on observable behavior. I know many people have heard of it because companies have gone into businesses and said, oh, this is your behavior style, this is your behavior style. But those companies tend not to tell people how to use their behavior style or the understanding of behavior styles to improve relationships. That's what I do. I knew about these behavior styles and I recognized the supervisor's behavior style as a high D, dominant behavior style. D stands for dominance. I knew how to give this woman moments of dignity based on her behavior style. At every opportunity, I gave this woman a moment of dignity and I spoke to her the kinds of words I would like to hear. Words of dignity. Over time, our relationship changed and we got to the point where we could laugh with each other. She left the company before I did. Years later, I needed something from an organization. I called the organization, and who answered the phone? The woman who had slammed the door to me. Now, if I had not spoken words to her that I wanted to hear, she could have taken revenge on me. That would have been the perfect opportunity for her to take revenge on me for having written that letter. I gave her another moment of dignity on the phone, and she went out of her way to get me more than what I expected. I got more than what I wanted when I placed that phone call.
Awesome.
That's what happens. That's what happens when you use the power of good gossip. You make connections. You get benefits you never expected to happen.
Amazing. Really
Speak
powerful
what you want.
work.
Yeah, speak what you want to hear wherever you go.
You know, it's really wise advice. That's why I wanted to do this topic. If you have any questions, by the way, feel free to pop them in the chat box, or just if you're agreeing with this, if we can do anything more to support women, you have ideas, put them in the box. Just let's lift each other up. That's what I'm getting from what you're saying is why aren't we lifting each other up,
Why
even
aren't
if
we?
there's a slam door? Even if
Right.
there's a
Even if
slam
there's
door.
a slam door. And I didn't have to like the woman, the supervisor. I didn't have to like her. I didn't have to go out to lunch with her. I didn't have to agree with her. All I did was give her moments of dignity.
Wonderful.
You can
Well,
give
let's
people
just
moments of you can give
dignity.
people moments of dignity without sharing the same anything.
Totally. You don't have to give the venom back. In fact, we can stop the
Oh,
pattern.
stop the pattern. Stop creating those glass ceilings. Stop giving people reasons to take revenge on you.
Like I said, it's not what you think, eliminating the
Right.
glass ceiling.
That's right.
It starts with us
It's
empowering
with
each
us.
other.
It starts with us. We have to start treating other women equally. That's not happening all the time.
It's a beautiful thing. So let's talk
hmm
just a little bit about you and what you do in the world. Who do you work with and what do you do for them?
I work with people who are ready to transform relationships. I work with people who want to transform their relationships with their coworkers. I can work with business leaders who want to transform their relationships with employees. And of course, I work with women who want to break those glass ceilings. I have a story about a former boss of mine. I learned from him what I call dynamic doors. I worked at a company where a coworker of mine came to me one day and said, "Never be alone with Fitzgerald because he will attack you if he has the chance."
Yikes.
Yes, yikes is right. That's exactly what my took. I went and talked to my boss. My boss was brilliant. Fitzgerald, for some reason, blamed me for not getting a promotion he wanted. I had no ability to give anybody a promotion, so Fitzgerald was irrational. Bad sign. But my boss looked around at all the work being done in the office and realized that there was one task that was neglected. He assigned that task to Fitzgerald. Just by chance, Fitzgerald happened to be good at this task, so he enjoyed doing it. It also gave him a position that was separate from everybody else in the office in our department. And anybody in our department who needed anything related to that task had to go to Fitzgerald. My boss gave Fitzgerald 3 reasons to cooperate. He got a job he liked, a task he liked and was good at. He got a position that was separate, and people had to go to him. Fitzgerald did not get a promotion with a financial raise. He got a position with an emotional raise, and it gave him reasons to cooperate. His behavior changed completely.
We really do have the power, don't we?
We do have the power, and it can be very simple. My boss didn't realize that Fitzgerald was a D and C combination of just behavior styles. C is a conscientious behavior style. D is a dominant. Fitzgerald wanted to be in charge, but he's good at tasks that require conscientiousness, are based on procedure, have rules. So a boss, a leader who knows how to recognize behavior styles can say, "Oh, he's a D over C. He needs a task he's in charge of that has procedure to it." And then
Wonderful.
it's happy. He's happy, and it satisfies him. And one of the work seminars I do is called "With You, Against You, Waiting for an Invite." There are 3 groups of people in a workplace: people who are with the company and working to help the company succeed, people who are against the company and sabotaging, betray, not doing their jobs. Then there are the people in the between who are waiting for an invite, who could join either group depending upon the invitation they get.
Mm.
Bosses, leaders who understand the importance of using the power of good gossip will speak carefully to everyone, making an invitation to people, and there will always be people who are against you. By always speaking carefully and giving moments of dignity, they will lessen the chances that people will join the against you group, and they will give the people in the with you group reasons to say, "Oh, no, what you're saying is not true about the boss. I know the boss is a good guy, a good person, a good woman. She knows what she's doing."
Beautiful. Brilliant advice. This has been so chock full. You obviously have a passion for this, for good
I have a
gossip.
passion. I do. I
And
do.
so what I want to do, I want to just segue as we start to wrap up our time here today. I know you could go on and on. We could talk about how to transform relationships all day long.
I could.
But I wanted to ask you about Women's Speakers Association and what you love or what you love about it.
What I love about it is hearing what I want to hear, because that's what I hear on Facebook. I make comments and I hear things back that are what I want to hear, or I read comments that are what I want to hear. And I love being able to share my resources. I call myself a resource rock star because I love giving people what they need to create success for themselves. So I have more coming, resources that people can use. I have an article I'm going to post about how to calculate a speaking fee.
I love that. And I love that you have all these resources, and you can certainly find Paula at speakingfromtriumph.com. And,
Right?
if you want to have more collaboration and cooperation and more resources in your life, we invite you over to Women Speakers Association. We have a free level of membership available for you at joinwsa.com. So just go to joinwsa.com. You can join for free, or you can do what Paula did and upgrade to be a premier. We have tons of benefits. We have a brand new premier group that has even more resources and more connection available to you. Our goal is to help you get visibility, raise, like blow that glass ceiling away. It doesn't
Right.
even exist in our
Right.
world, to tell you the
No, it
truth,
doesn't.
right?
It doesn't. I agree. Glass ceilings do not exist in the Women Speakers Association.
Yeah, and they don't really need to exist in the world either, and that's what our mission
Right.
is. We are global
Right.
women who are inspiring this global transformation through our impact and our influence. Please join us, and we'll be back with another episode of WSATV. Thank you so much again, Paula. Bye for now,
It was
everyone.
wonderful being here. I'm glad. I hope the audience goes out and speaks what they want to hear everywhere.
Me too. Good advice. Thank you.
Thank you.